Jai Hind to all. This is Chelsea, Assistant Professor, AKGC Ghaziabad. Today we will discuss about the concept of Hadoop in the cloud computing series. Discuss about the outline. We are going to discuss about the introduction to Hadoop, what is the architecture of Hadoop and the various components in the Hadoop architecture, and we are going to discuss the different applications in the Hadoop. So first of all, just discuss about what is the Hadoop. Hadoop is a open source framework which is used for the distributed processing of a large data sets across the clusters of a computers using a simple programming models. So it is made by the Apache Software Foundation in the 2011, and it is also written in the Java language. Now, talking about the Hadoop, that it is a open source software framework which is used for storage and the processing of a large scale data. It is created by the Doug Cutting and the Mike Carafella in the 2005. Cutting had given this name on the basis of his son's toy, that is toys on the basis of elephant. His son having a toy that was elephant. So these are the developers of a Hadoop technology, that is Michael J. Carafella and the Doug Cutting. Now, they are the various users of the Hadoop which are using the concept of Hadoop for using the data processing and the storage. Like these are the various users, like the Facebook is using the Hadoop concept, Google is also using, IBM is also using the concept of data processing or handling the large amount of data handling. So that's why these are the famous Hadoop users. Now, why we are using the Hadoop concept? Over here, we are having the different applications or different uses of a Hadoop technology. First of all, that is data intensive text processing. We are using for a intensive text processing system. That's why we are using the concept of Hadoop technology. And we also have we are using for the assembly of a large genomes to create or assemble the things. We are using the Hadoop concept in the graph mining too. Nowadays, we are using the Hadoop concept in the machine learning and the data mining for handling the too much data and the big data sets. So now talking about the last uses, that is a large scale social network analysis. For the amid amount of social networking analysis, to handle this network analysis, social media data, we are using the concept of the Hadoop over there. Now, these are the various users, again, Samsung, Yahoo, Intel, they are using the concept of Hadoop. Now, talking about the Hadoop in the detail, that how the Hadoop is work and what is the Hadoop actually is. So, talking about the Hadoop and introduction about the Hadoop is, it is an open source software framework which is used for storing and processing the large amount of data in a distributed computing environment. As we have already discussed about the distributed computing environment in the cloud computing series, so to handling this large amount of data where the distributed computing environment is there, so Hadoop is used over there. Now, it is designed to handle the big data, and it is based on the two or many components. Like one of the important component is, that is the MapReduce programming model, in which it is allowing a parallel processing of a large data set. So for handling the parallel processing, again we are using the concept of Hadoop. Now, for storing the large amount of data and performing the computation, we are using the Hadoop concept, and it is the framework which is based upon the Java programming with the some native code of C and the shell scripts. So this is the framework based on the Java programming. Now, what is Hadoop? Talking about the how it defines high availability distributed object oriented platform. It is based upon the Java, which manages the storage and the processes of large amount of data for the applications. Now, what the Hadoop use? It handle the big data and the analyticals job, and breaking the workloads into down into the small workloads. that can be run at the same time. So that's why we are using the parallel concept and the distributed storage concept. Mainly the Hadoop architecture is consist of the four components. Talking about the components, we are having the four different components for the Hadoop architecture. That is, first one is MapReduce, second one is SDFS, that is related to the Hadoop distributed file system. Then the concept of YARN-CAM, that is yet another resource negotiator, and next is Hadoop Common. So we will discuss about all these four components in the detail, and later on we will discuss about the SDFS too. Now these are the four components. This picture I have taken from the Geeks of Geek. Now talking about the four components, MapReduce is used for the distributed processing. Means when we are talking about the processing of a data handling, so MapReduce will help in that particular thing for handling the storage of particular data, or for storing the data of big amount of large amount of data. So to handle that particular data, we are using the SDFS concept. Now YARN is used for using the job scheduling and the resource manager for overall managing of the job tracker and the scheduling tracker. So this is why the YARN is used. So this is how the these are the various Hadoop components, and now we will discuss more about these components in the detail. Now talking about the first components, that is that is MapReduce. MapReduce nothing but just like an algorithm or a data structure which is based upon the YARN framework. Like it is a major feature in this. The major feature is the MapReduce to perform the distributed processing in the parallel in a Hadoop cluster, which makes the Hadoop working so fast. In the first phase, we are having a input as a big data. Then we are having in the first phase we are having a function, that is the map function. So map is utilized and it is used for the processing, and utilized in the next phase. We are using the reduce functions. So map function here breaks the data blocks into the tuples that are nothing but the key value pair. So the work of the map function is here to divide this input into the particular tuples, and which are in the form of a key value pair. So these key value pairs are now sent as an input to the reduce. Means whatever the output we are getting from here, we are sending to this functions. There we are having a function of reduce function. So what the reduce function is doing, reduce functions then combine these broken tuples on or a key value pair based on its key value, and then they form the set of. In the first phase, we are dividing the things into the tuples and we are generating the key value pairs, and in the reduce function we are combining the broken tuples into its particular key value, and we are performing some operations like the sorting, summation type of jobs we are performing over there. So this is how at last we are getting the output from the MapReduce functions. And we will take the example later on about this particular algorithms. Now talking about the next components, that is the SDFS. We have to handle the storage. Whenever we have to handle the big amount of data, we are using the concept of SDFS in the Hadoop architecture. So it is utilized for the storage permissions. It is mainly designed for working on a commodity hardware devices. So SDFS also provides us the fault tolerance and the highly availability to the storage layer and the other devices present in the Hadoop cluster. The data storage nodes in the SDFS. We are having the two nodes in the SDFS, that is a name node and the data node. Name node is called as the master and the data node is considered as the slave nodes. So talking about the name node and the data node, what is the name node and what is the data node and how these works, just discuss about that. Now name node works as a master in a Hadoop clusters that guides the data node, that can be considered as a slaves. So we can say that the name node works as a master, which is providing or guiding what the data nodes have to do. Now Talking about the data nodes, we will take the example later on and we will discuss the things. First of all, just discuss the terms, what are the terms and what they do. Now, what the data node is, data node works as a slave and data nodes are mainly utilized for storing the data in the Hadoop cluster, and the number of data nodes can be from 1 to 500 or even more than that. So we are using the data node for storing the data in the Hadoop cluster. This is how the working is there. So in the SDFS or a Hadoop concept, we are having a master node that is considered as the name node. Again, I have taken the picture from the Geeks for Geeks, and which is the master node or a name node is handling the resources. We can consider as a resource manager, which can handle the different data nodes. So these are considered as a slave nodes, and in the data node, we are having a node manager which is having a different functions like a map or a reduce. So these are the different data nodes which are used for the managing the data. Means we are storing the particular data, and to handling this data we are having a different functions like that is map and reduce. So this is how the SDFS works. The third component, that is the yarn. That is the yet another resource negotiator. It is a framework which is used on the MapReduce. Means it is works upon the MapReduce function. It performs two operations, that is the job scheduling and the resource management. Means the overall handling or a scheduling task is done by the yarn. So these are the components. This is how the components work or collaborate with each other to operate the job scheduling or the resource management. The purpose of the job scheduler is to divide the big task into the small jobs so that each job can be assigned to the various slabs in the Hadoop cluster and the processing can be maximized. So, these are given to the slaves which are in the SDFS tasks. So these are given to the small jobs are given to the slaves so that it can be easily processed, or so the processes can be maximized. And now the use of the resource manager is to manage all the resources that are made available or running on a Hadoop cluster. This is the overall resource manager which manages all the resources, whatever the task is done, whatever the resource, what task had given to the particular slaves to manage all these resources. So we are using the resource manager for that particular thing. Now, there are the various features of the yarn for using the particular yarn system, and what we can say that these are the advantages to use the yarn concept in component in the Hadoop concept. So the feature of yarns are the multi-tenancy, scalability, cluster utilization, and the compatibility. So these are the various features. That's why we are using the concept of a yarn. Now, at last, we are having the Hadoop Common. Hadoop Common or a common is nothing but we are having a Java library or a Java files, so that we can say that these are having the Java scripts, so that we need for all the other components to present in the Hadoop cluster. These utilities are used by the SDFS, yarn, and the MapReduce for running the cluster. To handling all this cluster or the functionalities of the SDFS, yarn, and the MapReduce, we are using the Java utilities. So Hadoop Common verify the hardware failure in the Hadoop cluster is common, so that it needs to be solved automatically in the software by the Hadoop framework. So this is how the components of the Hadoop works. So Hadoop in this word is used by the various organizations to handle the big data that we have already discussed. Like Hadoop is used by the Yahoo, Hadoop is used by the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix for handling this big amount of data. There are the various some examples of a scales, like the Yahoo search web map runs on the 10,000 crore Linux cluster and powers the Yahoo web search. So these are the various examples. Like FB means Facebook also. Hadoop cluster also holds the 100 plus petabytes of data. It is the report of July 2012, and now it is growing day by day. So these are the various these are the three main applications of the Hadoop. That is the for the purpose of the advertisement we are using, because the for mining or to identify the user behavior to generate the recommendation, we are using the concept of a Hadoop. Next is for searches, means whatever the interested group related documents we want to search. So that's why we are using the concept of a this is also the application for the Hadoop. Now the next is for the security reasons, means the search for the uncommon pattern. So we are using the concept of a Hadoop. Now talking about the components, that is the HDFS. HDFS is a main component of a Hadoop concept. So that's why we are discussing the HDFS in the detail. Now what is HDFS? As we have already discussed in the previous slides, that the HDFS is used for the file system or the data storage. So HDFS is used for the distributed file system. Now it is used for the traditional hierarchical file organizations, so that it can be easily we can handle the things very easily. Now used for next is single namespace for the entire cluster. We can use the HDFS for the write once and the read many access model, and the for the aware of the network topology we are using the concept of the HDFS. Now it is also responsible for the data storing the data on the cluster, and HDFS also works like the, if we are having a data files or a input files, we are split into the blocks and distributed across the various nodes in the cluster. So this is how the HDFS works, and each block is replicated multiple times. Now HDFS is a file system which is written in the Java based on the Google's GFS. Now it also provides the redundant storage for the massive amount of data. So for the redundant storage also we are using the concept of HDFS, and that also that only we needs for handling the big data, so that we can remove the repeated data. Or now HDFS works best with the smaller number of large files, like various files. It is also the files in the HDFS are write once, and it is optimized for the streaming the reads of a large files and not the random reads. So this is why we are work for the HDFS. Now talking about the Hadoop high level architecture, that we have already discussed about the data node, name node, job tracker and the task taker in the YARN concept and the HDFS concept. So in talking about the HDFS concept, we are using these particular two nodes, and talking about the YARN concept, we are using the job tracker and the task taker for handling of the processing tasks. So this is how we are dividing the high level Hadoop high level architecture, that Hadoop client is having a submit the particular data, then it is dividing into the particular two tasks, that is for handling the data. For storage purpose we are using the HDFS concept, and for the processing part we are using the concept of YARN, in which we are having the two types, that is the job tracker and the task tracker, and these all are sharing the physical node. So what the name node exactly does, name node maintains the mapping of all the file blocks to the data node slabs. Now the data node stores and serves the blocks of a data, means whatever the data is stored, that is stored by the data node, and this is how the job tracker schedules the job across the various tasks. This task tracker runs the various tasks, and this is handled by the job tracker, and scheduling task is also done by the job tracker. So this is how the Hadoop high level architecture works on the basis of the map reduce function or the YARN functions. Now in the Hadoop clusters, it includes the single master or the multiple worker nodes, means we can say that the multiple worker node as a slave nodes. In the master node, what it handles the data node, it handles the job tracker, it handles the task tracker and the name node. In the slave node, what it does, the data node and the task tracker part is done over there. So this is the map reduce function, in which we are having a task tracker and the job tracker, which is handling the data. This is the master and this is the slave. In the HDFS, we are having a name node, data node, and it is handling by the SDFS layer. So we are having the two layers, SDFS layer and the MapReduce layer in the particular cluster. SDFS name node features means they are the various features of the name node. We can say that it is a metadata in the memory. So they are the various list of files, list of blocks in the each file, list of data nodes in the each file. They various concept of we can say the file attributes, creation time, and the records every change in the metadata. So these are the features we can see that of the name node. Again, the working of the name node is for pull the transaction log or push the particular nodes from the for storing the data. Now SDFS we are having a data node part. What the data node part does, it divides the data into the various blocks, and these are stored in the particular storage system. So these are the block servers stores in the data in the local file system, and where the periodic validations or a checksums are performed, and periodically sends a report for all existing blocks to the name node. Means whatever the report is generated, which is sent to the particular name node in the SDFS component. Now I had told you about the MapReduce function in the previous slides, and how we will take the example over here also, that the map function processes the key pairs to generate the intermediate key pairs. Now reduce function is associated with the same intermediate key. So how it works, or how the MapReduce work, it is a programming model for the processing or generating the large sets with the parallel and the distributed algorithm on a cluster. Now how it works, just see that. So we are having the two job tracker and the task tracker, and we are going to take the one example in the next slides. So these are called ones for each unique key, and it is also gets the list of values associated with the key as an input. And what the reducer does, reducers outputs 0 or more final key values. It is for reducing the components as a key values. This is the example we can say for the MapReduce functions. We are having the various inputs, like we have taken the various input over here. Now what we have done, we have split the particular data sets into the various components. Now we are we are applying the functions, like we are applying over here the map functions. So what the map function is doing, it is counting the words that the deer is coming on the one time, deer is coming one time, river is coming one time. Now shuffling the things. Now for shuffling this particular map function, we get the output as a things, like we are dividing the same components, or we are reducing the redundant value which are repeated. So we are shuffling the things and clustering into the same blocks. So now after shuffling, we are getting the beer in the one component, and car in the one component, and deer in the one component, and the river in the one component. Now what we have to do, we have to when the repeated values are coming, so we are reducing the things, and this are done by the function of reducing, reduce function in the MapReduce function. So now we got the count of the beer as 2. Now we got the count of a car as a 3, and deer as a 2, and river as a 2. So at last we are getting the word count process. Over here we are using the concept of a word count, how we are counting the word and how much time the words are coming. So this is how the function works. We had used the function of map over here, and we had used the function of reduce over here, and at last we are getting the final result, that the beer count came as a 2, and the car count came as a 3, and the deer count came as a 2, and the river count came as a 2. So this is how the MapReduce function works in the handling the big data, for the big data handling or the processing system. So talking about the various, we had already talked about the various components, various applications, various users, and we have discussed about the SDFS in the detail and the MapReduce in the detail. Now talking about what is the benefit of a Hadoop exactly. It is cost saving, efficient and the reliable data processing. It provides an economically scalable solution. It is used for storing and processing the large amount of data. It is also used in the data grid operating system, used for the parallel processing for the huge amount of data across, which is very inexpensive in the industry standard servers. So these are the various benefits, or we can say that the pros, that it has having a good computing power, flexibility, it handles the fault tolerance, low cost, and the scalability. At last, we just discuss about the cons of a Hadoop, that the integration with the existing system is little bit complicated. So Hadoop is not optimized or for the ease for use. So installing an integration are little bit difficult to handle that particular thing. Administration and the ease of use. Hadoop requires the knowledge of MapReduce, so that we practitioners can use the SQL, or for the training purpose, it requires the knowledge to handle this particular thing. At last, security purpose of security. Hadoop lacks the level of security functionality needed for the safe enterprise deployment, especially if it consists to the sensitive data. Thank you, and that's all for today.